A loud crash echoed through. It was the lunch rush at Henderson's Diner, a small town spot where the smell of bacon and burnt coffee filled the air. The chatter of regulars mixed with clinking cutlery, sunlight cutting across chrome stools and fading into the tiled floor. Behind the counter, a new face, Nora, early 30s, quiet, brown hair tied neatly back. Her eyes, carrying the calm of someone who'd seen too much, moved with careful grace. She'd only been working there for a week, and though her hands trembled with each refill, her movements were precise, too precise for a beginner. The regulars noticed, but said nothing. In the corner booth, 3 men in dusty work jackets watched her, their laughter louder than the jukebox. They didn't like quiet people, especially ones who didn't flinch when mocked. Something about her stillness made them uneasy, like a storm waiting behind glass, and before long, they decided to test it. The noise started small, a snicker, a whisper, then a deliberate accident. A glass of soda tipped, spilling across the floor as one of the men muttered, "Clean that up, sweetheart." Nora bent down silently, rag in hand, the soft hum of the diner fading under their taunts. But when she stood up, one of them, Travis, broad-shouldered, drunk on attention, shoved her backward, sending her crashing against the lunch table. Plates shattered, silverware scattered across the floor, and the diner froze. The room filled with the kind of silence that comes right before a storm. Nora didn't speak. She simply exhaled, eyes narrowing, not in anger, but focus. She moved slowly, fluidly, her hand brushing a strand of hair from her face as she rose, and in that instant, the men realized something was very wrong. Her stance shifted, weight balanced, posture locked, movements controlled. The next seconds were a blur. One man's arm twisted midair, another sent sprawling into a chair, the last frozen before he could swing. The sound of impact echoed through the diner like thunder. Then came the stillness again. Nora, standing amid the chaos, breathing steady, eyes soft but unshaken. When the police arrived, the bullies were already gone, limping, shaken, and speechless. What stayed behind wasn't the mess of broken plates or overturned chairs. It was silence, the kind that comes when people realize they've just witnessed something far beyond what they understood. Later that day, the owner whispered to a regular customer, "You know who she is, right? Nora Vega, state karate champion 5 years in a row." But Nora never spoke about it. She just kept serving coffee like nothing happened, her eyes calm, her steps quiet. The story spread across town within hours, not because of the fight, but because of the way she ended it. No rage, no pride, just control. Strength without cruelty. And for weeks, no one dared mock another waitress again, not because they feared pain, but because they'd finally recognized humanity in someone they had tried to humiliate. Sometimes, the quietest people carry the loudest power. If this story hit you somewhere deep, share it. Because for every Nora who stands her ground, there are 100 more who stay silent, waiting for someone to see them. At Hidden Struggles, we tell stories that remind us what real strength looks like, not in power, not in anger, but in quiet resilience. Every face behind a counter, every tired smile in a diner hides a life full of unseen battles, and sometimes unexpected courage. So if this story made you think, don't just scroll. Comment what you felt. Share it so someone else remembers Dignity isn't given, it's defended.